Welcome back, everybody. I'm Tassie with Tassie Eats, and today I'm having spicy ramen, and this is 2 packs. It's their spicy chicken ramen, kind of like the nuclear, but this is not the nuclear version. This is the one before it. And then I also have some cooked pork belly here, and I have a side of kimchi. So this was heavily influenced on Facebook. I kept seeing this one video of them eating the spicy ramen with pork belly, so I had to make it. The only way I'll get over it is if I actually just eat it. This is pretty hot. I just made it. All right. I just fry these myself. That crunch is the skin, the pork belly skin. I did debate about making my rice balls I like to eat, but I knew I would just eat it with the rice and like the pork belly. And this is a jarred kimchi that I buy at the local Asian market. And it's really good. Now, I know when some people make the pork belly, they don't make it as crispy as I did. Some people like it to be softer and more fatty and chewy. But I like to cook mine a bit more, just because I prefer it to be crispy. Maybe I should add some kimchi on there too. That was a really good combo. And I did get the thinner cut types of pork belly. Some people like the thicker cut ones. My mouth is starting to feel a little spicy. Now it's funny because last week I actually went and I posted on my Facebook page. Last week, my coworkers and I, we went out to go eat crab legs. It's like a buffet where you get to go eat crab legs at a casino. And while we were there, like my boss, she paid for a meal, and she asked me about my YouTube channel, like, what is my favorite thing to eat? Especially because I get such rich or more expensive dishes. And so she really wanted to know, like, what has been my favorite thing. And people who are really close to me, they know. Probably because I talk about it all the time. My favorite thing to eat, it is ramen. And it's not so much like at the restaurant type of ramen, where it's like real ramen, where the broth has been boiled for hours and hours. I prefer just home-cooked ramen. And it seems kind of weird. My boss was like, she like grabbed my shoulder and was like, ramen, like Maruchan. And I was like, well, I like some other ones from Asian stores that are a little bit more expensive. And she was like, but how much more expensive? And I'm like, it could be like a little over $1. She just couldn't believe that my favorite thing to eat is ramen. Ramen and rice is preferably together. But that is my favorite. And I can't eat it all the time because you guys would get tired of it on my channel. Like, everybody has like their favorite. It's like rich types of food. But like, if you could have a choice, like a lot of times I just crave ramen. And I think some of it could stem from when I was a child. I ate a lot of ramen. So in my mind, I feel like it's like the soul food. It's just, I don't know, we loved eating ramen. And it's like, like I mentioned in a previous video, I had a really Americanized diet. Like we went out to eat a lot. I grew up on Burger King and going out to eat. My mom, she was always busy working, so she wasn't really home. And there wasn't anybody older to take care of us. It was just kids watching kids. And the number one thing we all knew how to make was ramen and eggs. So we would eat a lot of ramen and eggs. And I get really excited at the grocery store when I'm in the ramen aisle. Because there's always like different brands. And there's different flavors. It's so versatile, but it can be also different. The first time I had ramen at this restaurant, I didn't like it. It could be though that I went to a really bad restaurant. And the first restaurant I ever went to where I had ramen was Masu. And that's at the Mall of America. And it was not good. I think they only had like 1 or 2 kinds. And Masu is more of a sushi restaurant. I didn't like the sushi either. But I was super excited to try it because this was when ramen had first came to the Twin Cities, because we didn't have ramen shops the way we do now. And then now we have a lot of different ramen shops, and I really learned the different types of ramen there are and how it's not supposed to taste like what I had. Mm-mm. Now I like ramen at the restaurants. Mm-mm. I kind of wish I had grilled some bok choy now on the side. I was going to make some fish cakes, but I'll probably be doing that for another video, so I didn't want to get out fish caked and have too much stir fry fish cake. And you know, there's actually a dish with this ramen here. Pork belly. You can also use bacon. But they add rice cakes like tteokbokki. They also put fish cakes in there. And they put quail eggs in there and cheese. It sounds like it's a really good stew and it's like it looks like a hot mess, but like the ingredients in there, it looks really good, but I've made it before and I did not like it at all. And I think the reason why I didn't like that dish with the rice cakes and fish cakes and quail eggs and cheese and ramen here, everything started to taste like mush because, you know, I'm not a huge fan of boiled rice cakes. So everything started to taste really like thick, and I don't know, I just couldn't eat it anymore. So I ate just very, very little and then I tossed it. It was definitely one of those things where it sounded better in my head. But let me know if you've ever made it and you actually liked it. Everything was just so thick. And it all started tasting the same. And I have a texture problem. If something is too much of the same texture, I can't eat it. It makes me want to like gag. I don't know why. The regular ramen is not, like, it's spicy, but it's, like, just an okay level of spice for me. Nuclear, though, it has a really chemical taste to it. But the nuclear is really spicy. Ramen with meat is really good, though. So, if you're on, like, a college budget for food, try adding, like, some cheap meats with it. Even hot dogs. I like to eat hot dogs with ramen. And my pork belly here, I got, like, 6 strips of these for, like, $3. So it's really cheap. And this is only 3 strips cut up that I had. Mm-mm. Okay. I am done eating. My mouth looks like a hot mess. I'm sorry. Thanks for watching, you guys.